Hello, everyone. Welcome to the ZB Philly Sports Podcast. This is episode 26, our Chase Utley / Saquon Barkley episode.
We're like the twist on that one.
Yeah, couldn't really decide on one of them. Zach, how would you like to get us started?
Let's just get started on the mainly Phillies podcast this week, guys. Sorry, nothing happened with the other three ugly sisters. Phillies are 7-2 start the year.
Yeah. Only two losses are NOLA losses.
What? Since 2011, 2010, something like that?
I got no idea.
It's the first time we've won 3 series in a row. Opened up in Washington, took 2 out of 3 there, swept the Rockies with a Taijuan Walker start in there, which is unbelievable.
Yep. And I picked them up that day in fantasy, and you all thought I was crazy.
Pick them again. I dare you.
I will.
He pitches tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
And then we took 2 or 3 from the Dodgers.
Yeah, and I went to one of those games on Friday.
Did good in one of those games.
Great game. First City Connect of the year.
We had the first City Connect of the year. We had the first Powder Blue day game of the year. Like you said, the 2 games we have lost were one against the Dodgers. And the other one was the Nationals because we split.
Yep.
Like you said, both were NOLA days. You kind of
not necessarily NOLA's fault. Just so happened to both be on his days. Like both losses, we scored 1 run. Yeah,
it's you're not going to win with just scoring 1 run, unless you're playing the Reds apparently because they went through 3 games of losing 1-0. But I digress.
That was impressive. I thought it was going to be 4.
I thought it was too. Major talking points. We saw a new lineup. Brennan predicted opening day roster perfectly.
I'm still surprised by that.
We've had a shake-up early in the year with Turner getting injured with back spasms.
Bright side of that is we got to see Sosa is apparently a great baseball player once again.
I have it right here. Give me 1 second while I pull this up. Sosa. Edmund Sosa is the first Phillies to have multiple hits in his first 5 starts of the season since Ryan Howard and Polanco back in 2010.
Yep.
He had the game-winning RBI to give the Phillies the win. He's batting .550 to start the season.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's a great way to kick off the 6th Man of the Year campaign.
Yeah.
Or
I don't remember if either of us had him as our bench player of the year.
I think we both had him as a bench player. I know I did.
No, I have Clemens, who we haven't really seen yet so far. But
my 10th is Clemens too.
Yeah, if Sosa's playing this much, he can't even be considered a bench player, really.
Yeah. He's in the starting lineup today.
Yep.
Which we'll get into. Something I want to get into before that is Dodgers. I want to start the Dodgers series and we'll work back just because it's most fresh.
Can I say something about the Friday game that I was at?
Yep.
Going into that game, Ohtani had a streak of 30 straight steals without getting caught. And JT broke his streak.
There we go. The Phillies scored, 12 total runs in that series. The Dodgers scored 12. So 13-12 in the series run total. In the series, Will Smith was 2 for 6 with 3 Ks. Mookie Betts was 4 for 12 with a double and 3 Ks. Shohei Ohtani was 0 for 11 with 5 Ks.
It was great.
Todd Emmon was 2 for 3 with a home run and a cat. So that's the top 4.
Yeah.
We basically, most of those runs on Saturday were all contributed by Teoscar Hernandez.
Yeah. Every team Ohtani has played against, career OPS is lowest against the Phillies at 699.
So I was outscoring the Dodgers, outplaying the Dodgers top four. I don't know if you were watching the game Sunday, but there was a graphic that was put up. The 7, 8, 9 hitters, the Phillies have the best average right now at the bottom. It was a wet, cold, rainy game in Philly. This was a preview of a playoff matchup. The question we are now asking is, can the Dodgers play in that environment? It was a sellout. I'm guessing it was a sellout Friday night.
It was close to it.
It was like 110,000 fans there all weekend.
Wow.
Does this just go to show that the Dodgers cannot play in a cold environment?
Potentially, yeah.
Like, is this the team you want to circle that you want to see in the playoffs?
Right. Maybe.
It's a question we're going to be asking from April to October.
Yeah. I have a question for you about those two teams. Did you see MLB's power rankings after?
Yes, I'll let the Dodgers have it. They're still the reigning MVP. They started off.
Yeah, but like
8-0.
If you win the series against them this early on, you should kind of be above them.
It's power rankings. Yeah. I don't really look at power rankings too much. We great pitching. Suarez looked awesome.
Sanchez.
That's Suarez. Sanchez looked awesome Sunday. Nola was Nola. Again, like we said, it was a 3-1 game.
Basically, the only bad pitching we've had all series is Jordan Romano.
Yes. I did see a thing where it was like, welcome Craig Kimball back to Philly, and it was Jordan Romano's.
Yep. You can kill the man, but not the idea.
Nola, for his game, it was 3-1. 2-1 until Michael Conforto, who we've seen in a Mets uniform, kill us.
Yeah.
It was 2-1. He gave up one hanging pitch to, what was it, Teoscar?
I believe so.
Oh, Kike Hernandez is the one, and it just got over the fence. Why can't I think of who pitched Friday night?
Luzardo.
Luzardo's been looking magnificent.
It wasn't Kike Hernandez. It was Enrique Hernandez.
Yeah. Whatever his name is. He's a douche either way. Whole pitching staff looking great.
Luzardo's amazing so far.
And the question is it already time to move him up to a number 2 spot?
I think they're going to stick with the rotation they currently have. Like, Wheeler's the number 1. Besides that, I don't think anyone else has a number right now.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be and again, you have Andrew Painter down in the minor leagues. Once he's ready, apparently he's on the elevator up to the next level.
This Friday, he's going to be pitching in Single A, Clearwater.
So you have him there. You have Ranger that's going to come off the IL. Where is he going to go? Is he going to go in the line in the rotation? Is he going to go to the bullpen?
I was going to wait for this, but I guess I can bring it up now. I saw an interesting thing when someone said we need a closer that's not Alvarado so that he doesn't have to pitch every single day. And someone said, we already have one. They said, who? And then they said Ranger. And I actually like that idea. Not necessarily coming in just for a 9th inning, but he can come in and pitch 4 innings at any time. And we saw in 2022 playoffs, he's a pretty good bullpen guy.
Yeah. Sanchez is a good bullpen guy. Taijuan, I feel like, did better when he was in the bullpen last year.
Yeah.
Was that a fluke?
We'll just have to see how he's doing.
Yeah.
But I love Ranger. I just bought his jersey.
Oh.
I don't know. If Walker's doing well, I'd rather see Ranger be in the bullpen because he has that like fire underneath of him that I like seeing out of a reliever. Like Alvarado, he's got that emotion behind him, all that. Ranger, our catchers trust him. Everyone trusts him. I trust him to come in and do what he needs to do whenever we need it.
And just like last year, it was a great problem to have having too many starting pitchers.
Yeah.
Or
who knows? Maybe we'll go to a 6-man rotation.
Well, that's apparently when Andrew comes up. But does Andrew not start off well and then they move him to the bullpen? What was a Taiwan fluke game?
I don't know. I think we're going to need some time to figure it out. Well, we'll be able to tell against the Braves.
Yeah.
Is there any return table or return timeline for Ranger yet that you've seen?
I think April, who has him in our league.
Yeah, he's on the 15-day.
He threw a live batting practice 3 days ago.
Okay.
So it will be the first time the left-hander has faced hitters since he came down with a lower back stiffness mid-March. Suarez could be cleared for a rehab assignment soon. If things go well Saturday, he's hoped to be ready for the season debut before the end of April.
Okay.
So who knows? He might be I also don't know if we have a long arm. We knock on wood, we have not had to use a long arm yet.
Right. You just know you will have to at some point.
At some point, you're going to have to. Yeah. There's going to be a time where someone's not going to throw the ball like they're supposed to. My other thing I wanted to get in, I don't know how much Rockies or Nationals, anything like completely stick out to you.
Not really. Just from before the Dodgers series, we hadn't scored a run in the first 3 innings. Our most runs scored was in the 7th inning.
Mm-hmm.
Which you could still see in the Dodgers series. Our bats aren't waking up until we're like halfway through the game.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel that puts a lot more stress on our starting pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
And then the relievers come in and I don't know. I think that could be a factor in Romano, I forget how you say it.
Yeah.
I think that could be a factor in how he's pitching because he could be in his head trying to keep the low-scoring game going. I don't know.
It's definitely they need to start getting the people early. I feel like the rust is still there. I feel like the rust is going to stay there for a little bit. I don't think we're going to get the jump on teams too much.
Yeah.
But when you have Wheeler, this is what I wanted to bring up here. Innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 home runs, 2 walks, and 18 strikeouts already this year. You could go to Luzardo too.
Yes.
You just see what he's done all season. It was great to see what he looks like in the City Connects.
Right.
He's this season 2 games, 12 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 4 walks, 19 strikeouts, leading either the league or the NL in strikeouts. When you have those 2 guys that basically could go back to back, like it's so hard to be like, okay, these guys need, when we're up in the first inning, the leadoff guy, whether it's Turner or Schwarber, needs to get on. Bryce needs to get up there. Boom. However you feel on Boom. I know half of the fan base is, half of this podcast even is Boom needs to go up. And the other side's like, okay, we see where Boom's coming from. He's frustrated. He wants to get a hit. I know we're winning, but like we're on the top 6 guys that aren't getting it, but the bottom 7, 8, 9 are getting on base, and then it flips over to the top of the top of the lineup, and they're not getting it done.
Right.
But when you have the pitching staff, it's the same with LA. When you have those Glasnow and Yamamoto and Sasaki, who looks like he's finally settling in, it's like, do you really need to get ahead of teams when you know that you've Zach Wheeler on the bump? You really want to get him some run support, but he's going out there and he's striking out the side, and the hitters are like, oh, well, we're still thinking about that last inning where, perfect example, when Stott on Saturday night, he stole. His job was to steal. He got to second base. The ball was unfortunately hit on a line to Teoscar, and Teoscar got him out, not by much. But but you have on that setting, say you had Zach Wheeler still pitching. He strikes out the side. Well, now you have Stott still in his head, like, well, I just got thrown out.
Yeah.
Was that my fault? Was it coach's fault for calling? Like, so it's just kind of like, do we have good enough pitching to combat with the early struggles of the lineup?
Right.
And you saw Bryce Harper got it going late.
Yeah.
In Sunday's game.
Going back to Bohm, my thing is he doesn't need to visualize it so much so people aren't covering it, and then it won't be as big of a deal.
Yeah, I think
since people are looking for it, he needs to try and mask it at least for a few weeks so that the coverage dies down. Then he feel free to open up more. That's how my opinion about it.
I say go down the dugout, get your frustrations out there.
Not on the brand new fridge.
Yes, please. That fridge looks pretty nice. But no,
you seen the snacks they have in it?
Yes, they have like applesauce, overnight oats, Uncrustables, cheese sticks. Another question: is this not the most bougiest baseball team you've ever seen?
Right.
Like they need snacks.
Yeah.
They need snacks to get through a 9-inning game.
Right.
I could not imagine smacking my lips on some Uncrustables mid-third inning, off day. But getting off the past, let's look ahead here. We have the Braves of 3 down in Atlanta, which it's been great to, and this is what we talked about. I'm trying not to stay too much in the past, but we talked about this in a opening day preview. They don't have Ronald. They don't have Strider. Profar is now out for 80 games. And we said that we need to jump fast while those guys are still out.
Yeah.
And let them struggle, but we need to go. And
I want to say one last thing about Dodgers. I've been to many Phillies games. Can't tell you how many Phillies games I've been to. Been to a few Mets games, Braves games, Marlins games. I've never seen one player get booed more than Ohtani was getting booed.
Yeah, that was crazy. I heard that and I was like, okay.
And there were a lot of people wearing Ohtani jerseys. Like,
yes,
there were probably more Japan jerseys than there were Dodgers jerseys.
Well, there's Japan jerseys, I'll say.
Yeah.
But just kind of looking here at the Central or the East, NL East, we looked and we said we have to jump fast and we got to jump hard at it. The Mets are 7-3, Washington's 4-6, Marlins 5-5, Braves are 1-8. Other than the Mets, it's a weak division. You got to keep it up. The Mets will slide down at some point.
Yeah.
So
I don't think Lindor has hit a home run. I just saw that earlier.
Yeah, I want to say
if he has one, then he has one. He doesn't have any more than one.
So we have Braves for 3, and then we have the Cardinals in St. Louis for 3, and Mundo back home, and then we have 4 at home against San Francisco, 3 more for the Marlins at home, and then 3 up in Flushing.
I haven't always been very into baseball. I have never understood and still don't understand why there's some 3-game series and some 4-game series.
I'm guessing just so you don't have that one. Because I feel like some teams don't want that one weird off day.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never understood it either.
Okay,
but
that makes me feel better.
So you have the three Mets, 3 Cubs, 3 in Chicago, and then 2 to round out the month of August in Washington. April, not August, which that series carries over to May. August could be an easy month.
April?
I have my eyes set on. I have my eyes set for when I'm back home, I guess. Which August doesn't look tough-ish. Anyway, April. Could you win 3 against the Braves? Yes. Could you win 2 against the Braves? Yes. Could you take all 3 against the Cardinals? You could. You could have a 6-game winning streak.
I was about to say that.
You could even go on a 10-game winning streak if you can really string together some wins against the Giants.
And then you have the Marlins, who
always kill us.
Off well, but it's the Marlins. Like you said, they always kill us, but they're not a great team.
Like, you could end this month with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could win 7, the next 7 series. But we're also talking about the Phillies, which they could lose the Mets series. They could lose.
Luzardo should be playing against the Marlins, so that could be a very good game to look for.
That could be fun. That's at home.
Yeah, so I was counting. That's why I have no idea what you said.
But looking at Braves series still, so we'll go to tonight's game.
I got the lineup brought up if you'd like me to read it off.
Got it. Yeah, go ahead.
Turner leading off, Harper, Bohm, Schwarber, Castellanos, Realmuto, Sosa in left, Stott, and Rojas in center, with Wheeler on the bump.
Which we both said we really like this lineup.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with Rojas recently.
Me too.
Just looks like he's turned that corner. Kind of say he should play more than Marsh right now.
I love Marsh, and I agree. Marsh is probably my favorite player on the team, but I do agree with that.
I feel like it should be in that scenario, like Saturday, when people started getting subbed in and out because you're down 2 and someone needs to get something going. I feel like, or if it's in a tight game, if you're up 3-1, you take Rojas out and you bring Marsh in for his stuff.
Yeah.
Not saying that Rojas is bad at fielding, but I feel like Marsh is better at fielding than hitting. Rojas is better at hitting than fielding.
But Rojas is a really good fielder.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, Marsh is a Gold Glover.
Yeah.
Rojas, I don't think's at that point yet, but could be at that point.
Rojas is good at fielding because of his speed.
Yes. He can make up a lot of ground.
Yeah.
And then I think, Tomas would be Walker, and then I think Luzardo on Thursday.
I believe so.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. So when I was doing the counting out of games, I have Luzardo going Thursday, and then the Easter Sunday against the Marlins.
So pitching matchup for this week, or for this series, would be Wheeler versus Chris Sale, which is going to be a beautiful game tonight. Walker versus Holmes, and then Luzardo versus Schwellenbach.
Yep.
Again,
who? Schwellenbach has not allowed a run, I don't think.
That will change on
with 14 strikeouts and a win.
So, commentators for the series will be Tom McCarthy and Ben Davis.
Yep. Damn. Grant Holmes, 7.2 ERA so far this year.
And I think Casel's under 1. Oh, no, he's at 5. I can't believe
Yeah, 5.4 with 12 strikeouts.
And we're going against the lineup of Michael Harris, Albies, Zuna, Olsen, Riley, Brian De La Cruz, Kelnick, Murphy, Ossia. I unfortunately had my windows open this past week. Bryce and his son's photo got blown down. Just have not put it back up. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because I was going to point to that and be like, oh, Ossia. I remember that name. But
I still haven't done all my redecorating over here to take down my Eagle stuff. I'm still on that Super Bowl high, kind of.
I'm also on a way out here, so.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to get packed up. And I'll leave it at that for now. Just get ready. There might be some fun entertainment to come.
Yeah, this summer.
End of the summer.
Yeah. Well, summer doesn't start till end of June.
Middle of summer, then.
Yeah. Cardinals, I can't even tell you how they're doing this year. Sonny Gray still pitches for them, right?
Yes. You got one ball from him, and you're just a Sonny Gray person.
Yep. Right over there.
They're in the middle of the division.
Okay.
They're a half game up on the Pirates and the Reds. It's too early to start looking at how people are doing, and
yeah, the Giants are 8-2.
Giants are 8-2. Padres are 9-2. Dodgers on third.
Yeah.
Dodgers on third. That's crazy.
Right.
They've also played one more game than the Pirates and 2 more games. Well, not the Pirates, the Padres, and they played 2 more games than the Giants.
I don't know. I think we should have another thing coming out during the Giants series.
Like a giveaway?
No, like another episode.
Oh yeah. When would that be? Probably
Tuesday or Wednesday, most
Tuesday
likely.
or Wednesday we'll record.
So we might record during the second Giants game. So we don't really have to talk about any games unless you want to talk about the Monday game.
No, we'll talk. We'll get into the Giants.
Yeah, it'll be like a little recap plus review for that episode.
Yeah. Unless you want to talk about because we don't know if we're going to record Tuesday or Wednesday next week.
Right.
So we'll just review the first game /
Yeah. Maybe we'll have a play-by-play going.
Maybe. We had that last year.
Yeah, that's true.
In other news, though, Weston Wilson will begin a rehab assignment tonight in Clearwater.
Awesome. Why in Clearwater?
I don't know. Further down, he can pop up 2 more. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Lehigh Valley's looking good.
Lehigh Valley's looking good. I heard Reading's looking good.
Yep, I should hopefully be going to a Reading game in the next few weeks.
We might be going to a Reading game.
Yeah. Yes, everyone tells Zach to go to the game that I'm trying to go to because there's a Yingling t-shirt giveaway.
We will go. We'll most likely go.
Cool. It's not expensive.
They pressured. Oh, Reading's 0-3. They are not doing good, but it's 3 games.
Right.
Oh, no, that means that they probably got swept out. But Lehigh Valley's 7-2.
That's pretty good.
I've watched some of those games because I have a certain special TV that lets me do that. All I can say is they were beating up on Rochester. No, not Rochester. Yeah, Rochester. The Washingtons. They were like 10-0 one game that I was watching before the Phillies game. So, yeah.
I don't know. You got anything else you want to talk about?
Not much.
I'm looking up the Iron Pigs schedule right now. Curious about something.
Are you looking for when I'm in?
Yeah.
They play Scranton on that Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right.
But Thursday we'll be down at the beach. Down at the shore. So, we'll see. We also have other stuff we have to do while we're in there.
Right.
So,
like that Wednesday, they have a sock giveaway.
Tuesday will be tacos and tall boys.
That's also Wednesday.
Is it really?
No, Tuesday is Dollar Dog Night. Wednesday is tacos and tall boys.
Did you see we had our first dollar off hot dog or whatever?
Buy one get one. Half off.
Buy one
or
get
something?
one.
Yeah.
Hot dog night already.
Yeah.
Stupid. Go back to Dollar Dog Night.
Yep.
I feel like Dollar Dog Night will be back next year.
Wouldn't surprise me, but it's also expensive. I guess. I don't see how, but I guess it is.
The Reds do 5-1-3 night out here. $5 beer. 3-2-1 night.
The
3-2-1
Reds
night.
need to get people to go to their games.
They do 3-2-1 night where it's $3 beer, $2 pop, or $2 hot dogs, $1 ice cream.
That's pretty cool.
Imagine that in Philly.
They might sell out of all of it. It was
Actually-
awesome having my first beer at a baseball game.
Actually, I saw the Kappa, or on average Kappa, of
Philly is the least drunk.
yeah, and the Reds were up there. I was very surprised.
Yeah, you need to be drunk to sit through a Reds game.
No comment.
Ay.
I can cheer for both teams. Yay!
Yeah.
Little
All right.
bit.
I got nothing else.
I got nothing else. At this point, we're just
Yeah.
rambling.
We will see you guys next week. And
See you next
go
week.
Phils.
Go Phils.